This is a review of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon number 2. And wow, there are a couple of differences I wanted to point out. First, and probably largest, would be the cover. The Japanese version of the book, Ami looks decidedly Japanese. She has this beautiful golden tone to her skin, and the logo for this is actually done really well in a very nice metallic blue. While the American release, her skin is slightly paler, a little more peach complected. Other than that, though, this appears to be put in HD through some sort of HD filter because you can see a lot more detail with the water. Curiously, they just decided to change the logo to pink. I have no idea why they did this. Both are beautiful. It's a very interesting change with color. I'm wondering if this is some sort of printing error with the Japanese book, but I just don't think so. I mean, look at that. The colors are pretty much different. Also, in case you haven't noticed, Naoko Takeuchi's name is up here on the Japanese version, whereas it's down there on the English print. Not sure why, but this will continue in future releases. The side panels are slightly different. The American release has more pink tones to it, whereas the Japanese has straight blue. With the back cover, the Japanese version is slightly pale and slightly off, while the American release is again clear, defined, and in HD. Really curious. And again, we have our appropriate warning because I'm going to say this again. Sailor Moon and Sailor V are not for children. Now, again, like the Sailor V review, the Pretty Guardian books that came out in Japan have a little slipcover. And here we have a chibi style of Ami. And this gives way to a nice aqua blue printing of the book. Whereas the American release, it's printed straight to the cover. Now, you might be wondering why I have these little tabs sticking out. Well, first of all, these are bookmarks that I made all the way back in 2005. And if you'd like them, they're right underneath this video, right underneath the Amazon links, because I do encourage buying these books legally. And these bookmarks are holding my place for right now for a couple of notes I want to bring up. Now, when Sailor Moon originally came out in Japan, it was an 18-book series. When the reprints started up in Japan, they condensed all of the books way, way down. So there's about 12 books in the Sailor Moon series, plus 2 books in Sailor V, where there used to be 3, and 2 additional books of short stories. So Codename, so Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon actually equates to a book and a half. So yes, I do have the Tokyo Pop books, and I have notes handy, so let's get to this. When Tokyo Pop released the Sailor Moon manga, they flipped all of the pages to accommodate American readers, whereas the Kodansha reprints have it in their original Japanese format. Now, Tokyo Pop did not get a hold of the reprints because the reprints had not been made yet. So this is one of several large changes that was made to the original Japanese manga. The original Japanese and Tokyo Pop version of the manga have a different page for when they first find out about Sailor V. You can see that there's somewhat of a date given, but not much information. While the new Kodansha reprint, the date has been removed, and we have more information. Another thing that's interesting, Tokyo Pop added more slang and more cultural references relative to American readers. And this, I believe, firmly was done just for those of us who were still watching the dub, since the subtitled version hadn't come out yet. While the new Kodansha reprints, the slang is taken out, and we have calmer Sailor Senshi, really. This is the Japanese version of the reprint, and here the information is written a bit differently. I'm not so good at kanji, so I can't tell you if this is exactly the same or not, but it's interesting that so many changes have been made to just one panel. Now, another thing of note is that when Sailor Moon first arrived out in Japan, it was drawn slightly differently. Naoko Takeuchi does both the reprint and the original manga, so please don't think that this is a fan-made version or anything. But you'll notice that the original books, if you can get a hold of them, are more angularly drawn, and some of the jokes are even drawn differently. This is from the Tokyo Pop version, which, like I said, is a redo of the original Japanese version. This is one of several panels that was redrawn when the reprints came out in Japan, and it's been faithfully translated here. And you can see Usagi is quite different. The sailor suit is gone and the expression is different. But like I said, the translations are getting much better with these newer books. And here you can more closely identify with the characters. Some of the changes are going to make a lot of sense to you. A lot of them reflect better drawing techniques and little secrets that will later be revealed throughout the rest of the Sailor Moon series. However, some artwork changes I think were done for cosmetic reasons. Like here in the reprint manga, we see 2 shots of Queen Serenity where she looks an awful lot like her Materials Collection counterpart. Her eyes are drawn like baubles, and her hair is drawn actually somewhat curly here and there. Ooh! Now we know where Kurosagi gets it from. She gets it naturally. Sorry about the camera just there. Whereas in the original Tokyo Pop / original manga version, her face was drawn more angularly, and her eyes were drawn a lot closer to Sailor Moon's eyes. The whole mystical feel is completely gone. Now, one thing that is a little bit upsetting to a lot of fans is that the back manga has been taken out. This is the American reprint, which gives you a preview of Sailor Moon Book Number 3 in its original Japanese format, albeit cleaned up in HD so you can see all the beautiful details put in. And then there's some extra pages put in that are blank. The reason why people are up in arms is because if you buy the Japanese books, there's a sub-manga in the back, drawn by Naoko, that goes into some of the background notes on how the manga got created. I wish I could translate this better. Now, I plan to petition Kodansha for the release of these mini-mangas as sort of a sub-book, but until anything like that works, there's a link at the bottom of this video for the translations of the comics that you're missing. Also, another thing, in both copies of the reprint manga are these 2 pages. You're actually getting a few notes from the Materials Collection for free if you buy this book. These are actually the original Sailor Moon outfits, so if you see those fan videos on YouTube done in Mexico, stop picking on them. They're based on these images. This is what Naoko originally planned for many of the Sailor Senshi, and though you can't see it in black and white, Sailor Moon originally had pink hair, just like her daughters. These are some more original sketches. Originally her gloves were going to be red instead of white. And this is the picture I have been looking everywhere for, and it's going up on Moon Sisters. When Sailor Moon was originally created, the people at Toei thought it would actually be a good idea if Sailor Moon and Sailor V were one and the same. They even had a transgender cat that should have served as both Artemis and Luna, though here you can see it's just Artemis. The mysterious tuxedo character, they hadn't even drawn out completely yet. This was their idea, but Naoko had other plans. Sailor Moon, Sailor V, Luna, and Artemis ended up being separate characters. These are some more early sketches, and you can see similarities to Sailor V's early sketches as well. Now, this is an incredible find, but some people aren't exactly happy with it because when it came out for the American release, they forgot to translate it completely, so the notes remain in Japanese. For those of you who are really upset about this, there's a link underneath this video to a site from the Oracle, which has the translations you're missing, so you're not going to miss out on anything. And as always, the American book has translation notes, and this time with pictures. This is an extremely good thing. This explains a lot about Japanese culture, the translations, and of course, different Japanese jokes. So if you feel like you're missing out, this book is going to solve that. If you are a Sailor Moon fan, you are going to need this book. You will absolutely need it. It's worth the money. I have a link where you can purchase it legally right under this video.